It's the Martin and Dean Chronicles. Ready for laughs and cheers? One's a geezer, one's a queer. Find out who on the Martin and Dean Chronicles. Tune in, don't delay. Martin and Dean will make your day. Chapter 12, it's the bloody future, mate. The futuristic city around them buzzes with activity. Glowing signs flickering with advertisements in languages Dean can't read, and sleek flying vehicles zipping overhead like high-speed mosquitoes. The air smells weird, too clean, too processed, like someone Febrezed the hell out of a place that should have smelled like car exhaust and hot trash. Martin takes in the towering buildings, his eyes wide with curiosity.
Guess we're in the future, all right. Seems almost too clean. Like, is this real, or are we trapped in some overpriced dystopian theme park?
Yeah, well, I hope this place sells time travel batteries, because we're about to be stranded in whatever sanitized hell this is.
Martin crosses his arms.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it'll be a cinch. We'll just waltz into a store and ask for 1 unit of time travel juice, please. And they'll hand it over like we're buying a bloody candy bar.
Dean shoots him a glare.
Sarcasm noted, dickhead.
Martin grins, clearly too pleased with himself, then leans against a futuristic lamppost, watching the bizarrely fashionable people strut by in outfits that look like a cross between high fashion and a bad acid trip.
While you're out hunting for the magical power crystal or whatever, I think I'll take a little self-guided tour. I mean, how often do we get free tourism in the future?
Dean levels him with a look.
Just don't get yourself fucking in trouble again. I swear, you're like a goddamn stray cat with 9 lives, and I'm the asshole who keeps having to drag your ass out of danger.
Martin throws him a mock salute.
Duly noted.
And with that, he saunters off down the busy street, leaving Dean to grumble and swear under his breath as he trudges off in search of a power source. After what feels like an eternity of wandering through neon-lit chaos, Dean finally spots a dingy little store sandwiched between 2 sleek modern buildings. The sign above the door blinks sporadically. Electromagic, fusion cells, parts, and more. Dean lets out a relieved sigh.
All right, electromagic, don't fucking disappoint me.
Inside, the store is a goddamn mess. Dusty shelves sag under the weight of outdated tech, and the air smells vaguely of burnt toast. Behind the counter, an old man with the enthusiasm of a dying light bulb slouches over a flickering computer screen. Dean saunters up, hands in his pockets.
You got a fusion cell?
Dean, thinking to himself, that sounds sci-fi tech like bullshit that should work. The shopkeeper looks up.
Fusion cell, eh? That'll cost you.
Dean raises an eyebrow.
I don't have future money, but I do have a way with words and a strong right hook. How about that?
The old man stares at him, unimpressed, and wipes out a futuristic gun.
Credit only.
Dean lets out a long theatrical sigh and glances outside. His eyes land on a rich-looking bastard in a designer suit, casually scrolling through a holographic screen. In one smooth motion, Dean relieves the guy of his wallet and slips back inside like it never happened. Grinning, he tosses the stolen wallet onto the counter.
That should cover it. Now hand over the goods.
The shopkeeper, suddenly a lot more cooperative, slides a small power cell across the counter.
Pleasure doing business.
Dean snatches it up, smirking. Dean loads the fusion cell into the device. The screen boots up. New power source detected. Initializing reboot.
This shall take some time.
Then something outside catches Dean's eye. Across the street, a neon-lit lounge flickers enticingly. The sign reads, "Virtual escapes, live your fantasy." Curiosity piqued, he mutters to himself.
What's this now? Virtual reality? Shit, I could use a little escape from all this time travel bullshit.
Dean steps into the VR lounge and immediately something feels off. Everything is too sleek, too futuristic, too sterile. The place hums with an artificial glow, and attendants in tight, glowing bodysuits slink around like something out of a sci-fi porno. A woman with neon blue hair and a megawatt smile materializes in front of him. Her bodysuit clings to her curves like it was painted on.
You can do anything in virtual reality.
She purrs. Her voice sounds like it's dipped in honey.
Live out your wildest dreams.
Dean arches a brow.
Anything, huh?
Absolutely.
Dean grins away.
Well, don't gotta tell me twice.
He flops into a suspiciously plush chair, and before he can even adjust himself, the woman straddles his lap.
Whoa, sweetheart, we just met. I'm the guy who makes the moves now.
She simply presses a headset onto his head. The world goes black, then, bam! He's in a lavish mansion draped across an obscene amount of expensive furniture. A fireplace crackles nearby and the air smells like aged whiskey and sin. He looks down. Oh yeah, he's in a robe, a silk robe. Open, of course, shirtless. Hell, he's practically one step away from being the dude on the cover of a romance novel. And speaking of romance, a stunning woman, red lips, flowing hair, legs that go on for days, appears out of nowhere, crawling onto his lap. She smells like vanilla and bad decisions.
I've been waiting for you, handsome.
She whispers, trailing her fingers down his chest. Dean lets out a low whistle.
Damn, technology's come a long way.
She leans in, her breath warm against his ear, and just as her lips barely brush against his skin, her face melts, skin sags. Wrinkles multiply like a goddamn time-lapse of aging on steroids. Her red lips shrivel into a thin, cracked line. Her elegant hands turn into gnarled claws, and her soft moan transforms into a raspy, phlegm-ridden cackle. Dean recoils so hard he nearly flips off the couch.
Oh, fuck, it's Clawfang.
The woman, no, the creature grins at him, her yellowed teeth barely hanging on.
What's the matter, sugar?
Her breath smelling like expired soup and regret.
Ain't I pretty enough for ya?
Dean scrambles backward, legs kicking at the cushions.
Nope, absolutely the fuck not.
She cackles, reaching for him with bony fingers, her nails clinking against his skin like goddamn claws, and then she morphs again. The old hag vanishes, replaced by a mountain of a man with broad shoulders, a thick beard, and an oversized fur coat. His entire aura screams Russian mobster who's broken at least 7 people over his knee. Dean barely has time to process before the man...
Is that Boris? Yeah, it definitely is Boris.
Boris grabs Dean's shoulders in a death grip.
Ah, my sweet love.
Boris rumbles, his deep voice vibrating through Dean's bones.
You are small, but I will cherish you.
Dean stiffens.
Wait, what?
Boris leans in, way too close, his lips brushing against Dean's cheek.
I shall treat you like my babushka always said. Love hard and break harder.
Dean screams.
Nope, get me out of this.
But Boris is undeterred.
We will go to countryside.
He continues, one giant hand now cupping Dean's face like he's some delicate little flower.
Have many children. You make strong son.
Dean's brain fully short-circuits.
Dude, I can't even get pregnant.
The world glitches again, and then... Dean's stomach drops straight to hell. Standing in front of him now, like a fever dream from Satan himself, is Adolf fucking Hitler. Dean freezes. His brain flatlines.
9.
Hitler shouts, mustache twitching.
You shall be mine. Allgemein Dean.
Dean, whose day has now taken a turn for the historically catastrophic, completely loses his shit.
Oh, fuck no, not this cunt.
Hitler lunges. Dean rips off the VR headset so violently he nearly breaks the damn thing. The world snaps back to reality. He's in the lounge, sprawled on the floor, gasping for breath like he just survived a goddamn exorcism. The neon-haired attendant looms over him, grinning.
Well, how was it?
Dean stares at her shell-shocked, his body still trying to recover from back-to-back encounters with hell's worst Tinder matches.
Lady, I'm gonna need a fucking drink.
Then, groaning, he hauls himself to his feet and stumbles toward the exit, swearing off virtual reality, massage chairs and all German accents for the rest of his goddamn life. Meanwhile, Martin is just minding his own business, soaking in the futuristic sights, floating cars, holographic billboards, some dude walking his pet tentacle monster, when he spots something that stops him dead in his tracks. A statue. A massive statue. Of Dean. At first, Martin's just vaguely annoyed. Of course, the future built a giant monument to Dean's dumb ass. The guy already acts like he's God's gift to the universe. This is the last thing he needs. But then Martin's eyes land on the plaque and his soul leaves his body. He reads it aloud.
General Dean, Saviour of the Galactic Snail Ward 2110.
Martin blinks, then blinks harder.
The what war?
His brain refuses to process this information. He stares at the statue again, trying to convince himself he's reading it wrong. He is not. There Dean stands, 20 feet tall, trenchcoat billowing like some kind of snail-slaying warlord, face carved in the perfect chiseled likeness of a goddamn legend. His boots are planted firmly on a pile of defeated snails, some small, some as big as a car, their slimy, defeated bodies frozen in eternal humiliation. Martin's jaw unhinges.
Nope.
He turns on his heel and power walks the fuck away.
This cannot be real. The last thing I need is Dean finding out he was some kind of galactic war hero against space mollusks. The man's ego is already bad enough. If he learns the universe worshipped him as some kind of slug-slaying savior, I will never hear the end of it. Plus, the mere mention of snails will probably send Dean into a spiral of snail flashbacks and blind panic attack.
Later that evening, Martin and Dean reunite in a neon-lit bar that looks like someone stuffed a rave and a spaceship into a blender. Holographic waiters hover around, serving glowing drinks that definitely shouldn't be FDA approved. The walls pulse with colours that change depending on the bass drop, and the patrons range from shady-looking humans to creatures that may or may not have extra limbs specifically for drinking more alcohol. Dean slams the device onto the table like it's a priceless artifact, his smirk cocky as hell.
Got the goods.
He leans back, stretching his arms.
It's ready to go, but first, let's drink to my continued success.
Martin eyes him, unimpressed.
Your definition of success is literally just didn't get arrested today, isn't it?
Dean lifts his drink.
Indeed, Martin, it looks like you stayed out of trouble, too.
They toast. Dean downs his shot of something violently blue, shuddering as it burns through his insides like liquid regret.
Jesus, what the hell is in this?
Dean squints at the menu, trying to focus. Martin checks the tiny futuristic screen on their table.
Something called nebula vomit. Says here it's distilled from fermented space fruit and mildly toxic to small mammals.
That explains a lot.
Before either of them can process what this means for their livers, Martin spots it.
Oh my God.
He grips Dean's arm like he just saw the face of God.
They have karaoke.
Dean groans, already exhausted.
Don't.
Martin grins like a fucking menace.
to...
Before Dean can physically restrain him, Martin stumbles onto the stage like a man possessed. A holographic song menu appears in front of him, listing thousands of choices from ancient Earth ballads to bizarre intergalactic anthems. The first notes hit. The crowd turns. The bar falls silent as Martin launches into an off-key, aggressively emotional performance about love, betrayal, and absolute fucking bedlam. Dean facepalms so hard he nearly concusses himself.
This is going to be a long fucking night.
I've walked through war, I've danced with death, felt the black site's frozen breath. Chernobyl's fire lit up the sky, a mushroom cloud, don't ask me why. Through the dust, through the fight, through the ages, through the night, one thing held me, kept me true. Dean, my love, it's always you. Time's a bloody ride, spinning out of control. From six-gun duels to nuclear souls, I shot off Hitler's balls, saw the 60s swing. But with you, love, I'd face anything. Cowboys cheered, the flappers swayed. I drank with outlaws, debts unpaid. Through neon lights and bombs of war, still found you, love, like times before. Through the dust, through the fight, through the ages, through the night, one thing held me, kept me true. Dean, my love, it's always you. Time's a bloody ride, spinning out of control. From six-gun duels to nuclear souls, I shot off Hitler's balls, saw the 60s swing. But with you, love, I'd face anything. The clock hands break, the years collide, but you're still right here by my side. No matter where or when we land, you and me, still hand in hand. Time's a bloody ride, but we're still holding tight. Through war and fire, through day and night, from past to future, love won't fade. Dean, with you, I'm not afraid. No matter when, no matter where, you and me, we're always there.
The crowd go wild for Martin's song.
See, I got skills, Dean.
I don't want to hear it.
Dean pulls out the device and sets the device for home.
We are going home.
Finally,
Dean hits the button, and off they go. As they are travelling down the time stream, something hits them. They both get thrown out of the time stream. They land and suddenly a big explosion in the background goes off. This concludes part 2. Tune in for part 3 to see what happens next. Join us to continue the adventures by hitting subscribe. If you enjoyed our exploration, give us a like and share your thoughts in the comments below.